In today's episode, I'm talking style mistakes and in particular 10 fashion faux pas that I really regret making. Hi, I'm Leonie and welcome back to my channel. Style mistakes are fairly subjective. After all, what may seem like a fashion faux pas to me may be a-okay with you. But because we're often on the same page, I thought I would make today's episode all about some fashion faux pas that I've made over the years. So hopefully it will inspire you to not follow in my footsteps and not make these same mistakes. I'd also like to thank Squarespace for sponsoring today's episode, and I will tell you more about Squarespace a little bit further on in the video. But now it's time for me to swallow my pride and share 10 of my very own fashion faux pas. Now, my number one fashion faux pas, and quite possibly this has been one of the hardest for me to actually break, is my desire to always be buying sparkly pieces that I see. I do have this inner magpie and I'm drawn to anything that sparkles and glitters, and so anything with sequins and sparkle I am automatically drawn to. Now you may wonder what the problem with that is, but quite simply that look just doesn't suit my day-to-day lifestyle. They're pieces that I'm naturally drawn to and I find really attractive, and they're fun pieces to buy, but they don't suit my lifestyle. They don't suit the existing pieces that I currently own. So they're never a good investment for me. And I do find with some of those really shiny, sparkly, standout pieces, you don't get your return on investment. You don't get that cost per wear with those pieces. They make such a statement, you do tend to not wear them as often as some of your good staple pieces. So for that reason, I really need to make sure I don't buy those crazy, glittery, sparkly, sequined pieces that I'm naturally drawn to, because for those reasons, I just don't get the cost per wear. Please let me know in the comments below if you're attracted to anything that shines and sparkles as much as I am. It happens all the time. I have to talk some sense into myself when I'm out shopping and make sure that I don't just buy those pieces because they're pretty and I'm attracted to them. My second fashion faux pas, and this is one that I did for a long time, and I hope that you don't fall into the same trap as well, and that is not wearing enough color. I think in my mind I used to look at black clothing as kind of cool, and it kind of gave me a little bit of authority when I was working in a sort of a corporate environment. But what you do tend to find if you're really predominantly just wearing dark colors and neutrals is that you just miss out on so much fun. And color definitely makes you feel good, it makes you look good, and while I still only slowly inject color into my wardrobe, I absolutely love the color that I wear. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, you'll see that I do wear some bright greens and reds, and I actually do play with color more than ever before. So a trap that you can easily fall into is steering clear of color, maybe because you're a little bit scared and not quite sure what colors work for you. But I encourage you to try and uncover which colors work for you. And that can be as simple as going into a store and just trying on different outfits in different colors and sitting with them and thinking and trying to understand how they feel when you're wearing them and when you look at yourself in the mirror. Color, if it is right for you, you will immediately look at yourself and feel great. So think about adding some color into your wardrobe and not falling into the trap of just a very muted, dark wardrobe. And that's a really nice segue into my next style mistake, and that has been holding on to pieces that really don't fit me. And I've done that. I'm sure most of you guys can relate to that as well, because it's so easy to think, all right, I've put on a few pounds, I'm going to hold on to this piece until it actually fits me again. But what I suggest you do if you don't want to actually move that piece on for good is actually get it out of your wardrobe, because what that piece is doing is it's a daily reminder that you're not good enough or you're not where you would like to be. I mean, you instinctively know that anyway. You don't need a daily reminder that is actually potentially going to make you feel not so good about yourself. So I do regret doing this in the past and I used to even put pieces in front and center in my wardrobe, jeans that I didn't fit into, as a constant, what I thought was an encouragement to, or sitting there to inspire me, but actually it did the reverse. It just made me feel bad about myself. So please avoid doing this to yourself. Life's hard enough as is. We don't need this to make us feel any worse than we potentially do if we're not fitting into certain clothes. If you don't fit them, take them out of your wardrobe, and if you do someday, great, and if you don't, at least you've saved yourself that daily grief and that daily reminder. And at this point, I'd just like to say a very big thank you to the team at Squarespace for sponsoring today's episode. I'm sure you've heard about Squarespace before, but if you haven't, basically they are a platform that enables you to create a online presence really, really easily. Whether you want to sell merchandise or sell anything online, or if you want to start a blog, or pretty much any online presence, Squarespace can make it easy for you to do that. I've been using Squarespace for the last couple of years now, and the thing that I love the most about it is that it's really intuitive and super easy to use. So you don't have to be really tech savvy to understand and learn how to use the platform, which I think is key for most of us. The other thing that I love is that it has so many built-in features. So for instance, if you want to start your own blog, well, Squarespace has all of the marketing and all of the analytics and everything built into it. So if you want to send out EDMs or newsletters to your database, there is that facility. Also, Squarespace will set up a unique email address for you, so you don't send out to your followers with a kind of a Gmail address which doesn't look so professional. I recently set up a blog for a client, and I just used one of the beautiful Squarespace templates, and then it's as simple as basically just dragging and dropping, and within about 30 minutes I had a really professional looking site that I could start uploading content to. So if you haven't used Squarespace before, then just head to squarespace.com and you can take a free trial just to see for yourself how easy it is. Then when you're ready to launch yourself online, you just use my unique URL, which is just squarespace.com/The Style Insider. And with my code, which is just The Style Insider, you'll save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain, thanks to Squarespace. Now, another really silly fashion mistake that I used to make, and I made this one for a long time, was buying shoes that were too small for me. Now, I'm almost 6 foot tall. I've got a big foot, size 41, 42. And what I would do is buy shoes a size or even 2 sizes too small for me because I didn't like my feet looking so big. I think I've gone the other way now, and you've probably seen me here on the channel wearing some really chunky man style combat sort of boots. Now, I would never have worn those styles in the past because I would have been really uptight about my feet just looking enormous. But comfort has to be key, and it's ridiculous for me to think back that I used to do that. So my word of advice is, you have to be comfortable. Don't fall into the trap of buying something that is too small because you, whatever reason, are afraid of how it may look, or a silly number on a clothing ticket because you don't want to be that number. Think about comfort and don't be hamstrung by silly notions of sizes. The next style mistake that I often make is not wearing my accessories. I tend to fall into a little bit of a rut and wear the same earrings every day and the same necklace, the same watch, and not change things out and swap things out. And quite often I think part of that is because I haven't merchandised those pieces well enough in my wardrobe at home. So anything that you can't see or get to easily, chances are you're not going to wear. So what you do need to do is shuffle things around a little bit, change how you merchandise your accessories so you're more likely to grab for them when you're getting dressed in the morning. But a mistake that I still do make from time to time is just not enjoying the accessories I own. I own so many and just don't take the time to wear them. Please let me know if you can relate to this one, because I'm picking that some of you may definitely be able to understand where I'm at with this one. My next style mistake, and this is quite possibly my biggest regret, and that is getting rid of pieces of clothing that I shouldn't have. Now, when I used to edit magazines, I would regularly wear New Zealand designer pieces. Now, many of those pieces would be perfectly fine foundation pieces for me to wear still today, and they were all good quality and great designs. And what I did do is I moved them on and moved them out, and I do wish now that I still owned many of those pieces. So one of the mistakes that I've made in the past, and I hope that you also don't make, is letting go of things too quickly and letting go of them without enough thought. My next style mistake has been not being brave enough to wear something that I actually really love. And I think this often is tied into fear of judgment, or just worrying or caring too much about what other people will think. And that has stopped me from perhaps wearing something that I would have felt great in, or it would have lifted my mood, or I just perhaps would have enjoyed myself more or felt great about myself, but I didn't wear it for all sorts of silly reasons. And sometimes that does creep back in to me when I might be going to an event and I try and pare back what I'm wearing. But my new internal mantra is no, stop, don't worry. You know, sometimes we'll make style mistakes and wear something and it doesn't quite work, but at least we're trying, we're having a go, we're playing, we're having fun with fashion. And at the end of the day, I truly believe that that's what it should be. If we don't make some mistakes, like that saying goes, we're probably not trying hard enough. So I think it's worth making some mistakes and making sure that you don't do something or don't wear something because you're scared of judgment or scared of getting it wrong. Just wear it. Now, this next mistake may sound a little bit rich coming from me, but it is the mistake of being too easily influenced and basically buying something because it looks amazing on someone else, but not really taking the time to ask myself the questions whether it will look great on me and whether it will suit my lifestyle. Two key questions that you do need to ask yourself when you're buying anything. And quite often I have found myself being really easily influenced by a trend that I love, but I haven't asked myself those two key core questions that will make the difference between me buying something that I love and get lots of wear out of, or buying something that just really doesn't see the light of day. So big fashion mistake in my book is being too easily influenced and not really making sure that something that looks amazing on someone else will actually be right for you. Another style mistake, and I think that a lot of us do fall into this, is not having a great system in our wardrobe. And if you don't have a great system, what that basically means is that you will only pick out the pieces that are closest to you and those that you see. You won't dive deeper to wear pieces that are just not front and center. So unless you have a great system of how you have organized your wardrobe, how you've organized your accessories, your tees, your knits, you will really only wear a small section of your closet. So I think it's really important to make sure you keep on top of that too, because having a system is one thing, but maintaining that system is another as well. And that does require a bit of time. Life gets busy, it's easy to sort of throw things away and they're out of place, and then your system just can't work for you. So having a good system and maintaining that system is really key. Now, my last fashion faux pas, and one that I'm still working on, is wearing pieces that are not comfortable for me. Now, the problem is I'll absolutely love something and I'll think it looks great on me, and regardless of how good it looks, some of those pieces aren't always comfortable. Now, I used to wear pieces that weren't comfortable for me when I was a teenager, and I may have looked okay, but I would be miserable. If I do wear something that isn't comfortable for me, I don't feel good, so it's really not worth it. So if I own something that doesn't quite fit me properly, whether I've lost weight or gained weight and it's no longer comfortable, I'll move it out, park it for a while until it does fit me. Or if it's never ever going to be comfortable, then I really do need to move it out for good. So comfort to me is key, and I don't think you can feel happy and confident and enjoy what you're wearing if you're not comfortable. Anyway, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed me opening up about some of the fashion faux pas that I've made over the years. And if any of them resonated with you, please let me know in the comments below. But thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love you to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring this episode, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Bye for now.